achieve big. Today's video is about Atomic Habits Part 4. In the Part 3, we have discussed about cue, craving, response and reward. Also discussed the two purposes that our rewards serve. They are the satisfy us and they teach us. The first purpose of reward is to satisfy your craving. Yes, rewards provide benefits on their own. Food and water deliver the energy need to survive, and getting a promotion brings more money and respect, and getting in shape improves your health and your dating prospects. But more immediate benefits is that rewards satisfy your craving to eat or gain status or win approval, at least for a moment. Reward delivers contentment and relief from craving. The second thing, rewards teach us which actions are worth remembering in the future. Your brain is a reward detector. As you go about your life, your sensory nervous system is continuously monitoring which actions satisfy your desires and deliver pleasure. Feeling of pleasure and disappointment are a part of the feedback mechanism that helps your brain distinguish between useful actions from useless ones. Reward close the feedback loop and complete the habit cycle. If a behavior is insufficient in any of the four stages, it will not become a habit. Eliminate the cue and your habit will never start. Reduce the craving and you won't experience enough motivation to act. Make the behavior difficult and you won't be able to do it. And if the reward fails to satisfy your desire, then you'll have no reason to do it again in the future. Without the first three steps, a behavior will not occur. Without all four, a habit will not be repeated. As we know, there are four laws of behavior. They are cue, crave, response and reward. To create good habits, firstly, we need to make it obvious, and second, make it attractive, third, make it easy, and make it satisfying. To break a bad habit, make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. It would be irresponsible to claim that these four laws are an exhaustive framework for changing any human behavior. These four laws of behavior change apply to nearly every field. No matter what challenge you are facing, there is no need for complete different strategy for each habit. Whenever you want to change your behavior, you can simply ask yourself, how can I make it obvious? How can I make it attractive? How can I make it easy? And how can I make it satisfying? If you have ever wondered, why don't you do what you say that you are going to do? Why don't you lose the weight or stop smoking or save for retirement? Why do you say something is important but you never seem to make time for it? The answers to all these questions can be found somewhere in these four laws. In the further videos, we will discuss all these four laws in detail. So stay tuned with our channel just by subscribing, clicking on the bell icon. Let's start with the first law, make it obvious. The author here describes a story about a woman who attended a family gathering. She took one look at her father-in-law, who was feeling perfectly fine, and got very concerned, and she insisted that you need to go to the hospital right now. A few hours later, the man was undergoing life-saving surgery after an exam has revealed that he has a blockage to a major artery and was at an immediate risk of heart attack. How did she predict his impending heart attack? After many years of working with people with heart failure, the woman had unknowingly developed the ability to recognize this pattern on sight. She could not explain what it was that she noticed in her father-in-law's face, but she knew something was wrong. This similar story exists in other fields. For example, the military analyst during the Gulf War, Commissioner Michael saved an entire battleship when he ordered a missile shot down, despite the fact that it looked exactly like the battleship on radar. He made the right call, but even his super officers could not explain how he did it. The human brain is a prediction machine. It is continuously taking in your surroundings and analyzing the information it come across. Whenever you experience something repeatedly, your brain noticing what is important, sorting through the details and highlighting the relevant cues and cataloging that information for future use. With enough practice, you can pick up on the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. Automatically, your brain encodes the lessons learned through experience. We underestimate how much our brains and bodies can do without thinking. You do not tell your hair to grow, your heart to pump, your lungs to breathe, or your stomach to digest, and yet your body handles all this and more on autopilot. You are much more than your conscious self. Consider hunger. How do you know when you are hungry? You don't necessarily need to see a cookie on the counter to realize that it's time to eat. Appetite and hunger are guarded unconsciously. Cravings can arise due to hormones and chemicals circulating through your body. Suddenly you are hungry even though you are not quite sure what tipped you off. This is one of the most surprising insights about our habits. You don't need to be aware of the cue for a habit to begin. You can notice an opportunity and take action without dedicating conscious attention to it. This is what makes habits useful. It's also what makes them dangerous. Your actions come under the direction of your automatic and unconscious mind, and you fall into old patterns before you realize what's happening unless someone points it out. Here, the author shares a story of a retail clerk who was instructed to cut up empty gift cards after customers had used up the balance on the card. One day, the clerk cashed out a few customers in a row who purchased with gift cards. When the next person walked up, the clerk swiped the customer's actual credit card, picked up the scissors, and then cut it into half entirely on autopilot before looking up at the stunned customer and realizing what had just happened. Over time, the cues that spark our habits become so common that they are essentially invisible. The treats on the kitchen counter, the remote control next to the couch, and the mobile phone in our pocket. Our responses to these cues are so deeply encoded that it may feel like the urge to act come from nowhere. For this reason, we must begin the process of behavior change with awareness. Before we can effectively build new habits, we need to get a handle on our current ones. This can be more challenging than it sounds because once a habit is firmly rooted in your life, it is most non-conscious and automatic. If a habit remains mindless, you can't expect to improve it. As psychologist Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This is the part 4 of Atomic Habits. In the part 5 of Atomic Habits, we will discuss about the habit scorecard and the best way to start a new habit. If you like the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you.